Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Souls Roundtable podcast. I'm your host, the Old Hunter, and today we have our usual guests and a new one to be added onto that.
Hi, I'm Trooper Ray Jones. Hello.
Oh, hello. I'm the Knight of Green, Soulsborne martial arts expert, and dinosaur person.
And tonight we have a special guest, Sinclair, from Sinclair Lore. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I should feel honored for you to join us on our little podcast. It actually makes me happy that you took time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight, as we have many news tonight to talk about, since so many Soulsborne news, well, Souls and Elden Ring news has been announced.
Ooh.
Yep. First off, let's start with Demon Souls. It turns out that, interesting enough, omnidirectional movie is a thing.
See, I wasn't so excited because I'm just like, but play unlocked. Like you get omnidirectional rolling and play unlocked. Once you get used to doing that, then it's like, oh, okay, guess for those of the people.
Nah, it's always better if you've.
Will play locked on, I guess.
I always think that it's always better to just play locked on when you've got a one enemy. It's better depth perception between you and your opponent.
To each their own.
I usually play a lot tough. To be fair, it's on locked on when you play against a boss or something. It can be different for PvP as well. Like if you're fighting three players, and then you need to play locked off.
Mm-hmm. True.
It's sort of beat into if you do PvP a lot, especially. So it's just preference.
But still, we finally did see that old spider boss, didn't we? I keep forgetting that spider's name. What was it called again?
I think is it Iron Spider?
Iron Spider.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the irons. Yeah, we finally. Well, remember in the original when they had this the fire spread on the ground? It was always weird, wasn't it? Like there was no logical reason for why the fire would spread. Remember that?
In the original game, it just sort of sat down and just kind of pooted out large flames that went through the whole tunnel. This one's okay, it's spewing out oil that's spreading out through the tunnel. So
makes more sense.
I guess that's a more sensible thing than just.
I don't remember it having flames, to be fair.
I do.
Oh, it does.
It does. It does have it. I remember when I didn't use the cheap glitch where you would stand by the fall gate and just shoot arrows at it. I didn't use that cheap trick. I just went in there and just started hacking at the damn thing. It was a pretty.
Speaking of cheats, apparently they're putting the stockpile Thomas Duke glitch back in. So I'm just gonna be farming pure blade stones, right? And I'll be like, lol. Here's a blade stone. Make your maxed out sharp katana. You're welcome. What can I say? You're welcome.
Yeah, that's in. Your thoughts on this? I'm curious.
Me? Sorry,
Yeah.
you cut out a little bit.
So I said your thoughts on all this.
Oh, well, we saw the second gameplay trailer. It looks very nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, which is also leading on to the other sad news I also heard. The armor set, the shield, and the sacrificial blade are going to be deluxe edition exclusive.
Travesty, absolute travesty. I cannot believe that.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty bad. That is.
I know.
Usually, if I'm finding out, I prefer all the content to be in the game.
I know. It was a travesty when I heard the news. I actually watched Vadi's video before coming on here just to get more information on it. I was hopeful that, okay, fine. You want to have it so that people buy the game early for the deluxe edition and get all the armor set and things early? Fine. I'll accept that, as painful as it is. But the fact is that 3 things, I don't care if they're the worst armor sets in the game or the worst weapons, they are exclusive to the deluxe edition. So it means that's forking out $90 for the thing. And
The thing that's making me really upset is that I got the disc version because out of all the Souls games, the ones that I have on disc are so far that I can find on me are Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 on PS3 and what was it? The Demon Souls remake now. And I'm basically getting locked out of content because I wanted to have a physical version of the game I love. I don't
Travesty.
think that's
It's travesty. And we have to complain to Sony, not to the upper parts of the Bluepoint and Sony Studios, because this is simply unfair. This is just, I don't know what to say, honestly.
At least Dark Souls 2, and that's the funniest thing. At least when Dark Souls 2, even if Dark Souls 2 had it, you can still find the weapons and get them.
True.
In the game.
It was and it was annoying that most of the weapons were, hey, if you buy the game early, you get all this stuff for free. But this is a different thing.
You are not allowed to get them if you don't have it digital pre-order deluxe super edition. That's already almost $100.
I know I'm not.
Okay.
It's kind of like.
Go on, Trooper.
It's kind of like pay to win, isn't it, really? Like,
It is.
If you don't have the deluxe edition, then you got to get the deluxe edition.
It is. I thought, well, maybe we should be grateful they didn't put loot boxes in the game. Maybe we should be praising that then. Then again, we shouldn't expect loot boxes in a Souls game.
Oh, they already have it. When you pre-order it, you get free souls. That's basically a loot box for free levels from the start of the game.
Of course.
No.
Of course. This is gonna
can't even say that.
This is going to be a disadvantage to both. This is going to be a pure advantage for those who basically pre-ordered the game for the digital deluxe edition. They're going to get the better. I guarantee you, the sacrificial blade, the shield, and the armor are going to be on the better side of our early game. And we're going to have a lot more griefers with better equipment attacking low-level players. Just because.
That's going to exist in all the games. We all know this.
I know, but this is not early in the game's life. Sure, later in the game's life, that's fine. But what's painful is that these are just exclusive DLC. So I can't farm the Red-Eyed Knights just to get the armor. It looks cool. It looks cool, doesn't it? Let's be honest, it looks cool.
Oh, it does, of course.
But now it's hampered because I can't get the armor set. Maybe it has the good stats, but honestly, for me, stats for armors have never been a thing. If it looks cool, I might just wear it for the rest of the game. I'll use my skill to get past it, but that's just me.
And the thing that's bothered me, right, ever since I played this game 11 years ago, I was like, man, I always liked the Bolitarian Knight armor set, especially the Red-Eye Knight. I would love to cosplay as one of them and then run around with their armor. Lol, don't get that opportunity 11 years later because it's under the deluxe
edition
pre-order digital version. Like, okay, I'm sorry if I'm sounding really heated, but this is coming from someone who's fell in love with the game 11 years ago.
I only played the game.
For over a decade. Who's been doing PvP, still does it. I still do the martial arts from the game to this day. Like that's upset. It's like, imagine you had over a decade long friend tell you that, lol, we can't be friends anymore because you didn't get me in my pre-order digital. I don't even know. I'm so mad at everything.
This is like if it's from software, remember Bloodborne's Old Hunter DLC? Oh, not even that. Imagine if in the base game of Bloodborne that, hey, you get the classic Hunter set you see in the trailers and all that. Fork over additional $20 and you get it free in the game. And if you didn't buy it, too bad. That is what I imagine.
Basically.
Imagine that. Come on, let's be honest. The Hunter outfit that's for the main protagonist is iconic at this point. It's an iconic look to it. Heck, you see statues of it everywhere. It's travesty that we have to. I'm just basically repeating myself, but I'm honestly being honest. This is just bad decisions on both Bluepoint and
very bad
PR movement. And this isn't the way I wanted to start the 5th generation.
It's anti-consumer as well.
Exactly. It's anti-consumer. You remember you know what Sony's new tagline is for this generation?
It's play has no limit.
Exactly.
Play with no limit.
It does this time, right?
Yeah, and the limit is you don't have the money, you don't get the cool stuff. Sorry.
And that's the thing. Demon's Souls was the only Soulsborne game originally that never had DLCs, never had these pre-order things. It was just you got the game and you just got the game. This was the only Souls game that had nothing. Like,
well, would you
all
say
the other
yeah, well, fair enough. Sekiro got DLC at the end. Well, Sekiro did get a big update.
Well, I was going to say Sekiro got a free update, so it doesn't count unless they're making stuff for it.
I highly doubt that.
But
it's been a year since.
Yeah, I doubt.
It's been a year since the game's release, and there's no way that they're going to start making. I was hoping that'd be DLC. Honestly, I'd pay good money for what facing. Okay, you know how it mentioned Tomoe a lot of the times in the DLC, in the base game. I would have loved it if I faced Tomoe. You know, but that's
the best we got was the Inner Genichiro fight. Apparently,
that was a good fight.
He basically becomes was it, as close to Tomoe as he could have become, which I actually find kind of cute. So the Inner Genichiro fight's like is the best we're gonna get to that, I guess, conceptually.
I've been going on about oh look at that, we jumped from Demon's Souls to Sekiro.
Talking about the Tomoe fight, saying if there was going to do a DLC like that, it'd probably be something like Bloodborne, won't it?
I would imagine.
You'll have like Tomoe as the Lady Maria of Sekiro.
Oh, maybe she would have been. Oh, she would have been very iconic. You know how we all know how popular Lady Maria is with the fans.
Yeah,
I think. Who is it? The Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3. Let me think. The doll from Bloodborne and Lady Maria, like the three popular waifus for the Soul series.
Hey, don't tag out Maiden in Black.
Fine.
Maiden in Black's like that corner girl.
Okay, fine. I'll also add the Maiden in Black as well. Okay, happy now? She's also part of the Soulsborne waifus.
Look, one of these days, I'm gonna get my wife to cosplay as the Maiden in Black, and I'll just be like, I'm happy. I'm happy with this.
And maybe you can. And how about the recommended? You go as a guy cosplaying in the fluted armor set.
You think I don't do that already?
Oh.
You must not know me to know that I already have full armor sets, bro. Not even cosplay at this
Silly
point.
me.
I fight in the armor.
That's silly me. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Sin, you have any thoughts on this?
On what specifically?
Anything we've talked about, like your thoughts on this whole Demon's Souls DLC fiasco, as I like to call it.
I can see how people who have waited for the game for a while are upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
I empathize with you, yeah.
Though for me, I only played Demon's Souls like after I finished Dark Souls 3. That was the... So I played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Demon's Souls, Demon's Souls, then Sekiro. So my whole... I was a bit out of order.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, back to Sekiro was the supposed if the Sekiro would get a proper DLC, would we agreement that if it's good we would buy it? Heck, if they just announce it, we'd buy it, right?
I think we would.
Oh,
we're
for
just
sure.
like no questions asked. I think.
Look, I just want the DLC to be have Tomoe in there, of course, and then have the return of to the west to get the dragon back there ending, and you go to like Korea or China and start fighting those people. Like, thumbs up for me.
I was wondering because two armor sets in Bloodborne that relate to the
Yamamura set.
Yamamura set. Yeah, after Sekiro came out, do you know what Sorry, go on, Trooper.
Would it go back to Bloodborne, I think? Since as the armors are kind of connected.
Maybe not. But I actually
so hold on. So go to like a Victorian European like country or something.
Yeah.
But the dragon, but the divine
comes from.
But the divine dragon is Chinese inspired, not European or Western inspired.
So yeah, it wouldn't go that far. I mean, sure. I mean, take Sekiro. See, if they took Sekiro's comic, because I know was the Armored Warrior, and you just set it to like a European Renaissance type of setting, oh, I would be happy. I'd be like,
I think it's
finally, do justice to ultra great swords, because because people are sitting here like, ultra great swords are slow and dumb weapons, and you're like, no, they're actually, believe it or not, the techniques required to use an ultra great sword are more elegant than a katana. And if you don't know that, then you don't study martial arts for as long as I have to be able to say anything.
No.
I'm just gonna tell you that straight up.
You're the sword master in the room, so I'm going to take your word for it, my friend.
Does anybody remember that the meme is the one with Sekiro, and then you got Armored Warrior, and it was like Dex versus Strength.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a meme.
Yeah, the big armored guy that
Funny
is.
enough, ultra greatswords, they require much more dexterity. See, people think they're all strength. No, they're more dexterity. Believe it or not.
You need good control to lift. You need good control to control. Good dexterity to control blades of that size. Honestly.
It's the momentum.
And the momentum.
Less of the size, it's more of the momentum. Because when you are swinging something like a 6 foot long or bigger sword, you have to first up do a rotation in order to get it start spinning. Similar to what Ishin does when he picks up the spear, where he rotates it after the round, spins it around. You have to do something like that to get the momentum to start actually attacking with it. Because outside of that, your only real options are pommel strikes and half swording.
By the way,
again, I don't know anything. I'm just the dude who fights in armor.
By the way, congratulations on getting 700 subscribers, my friend. I should congratulate you on that.
Oh, thank you. I just got it. I'm currently editing the Ishin video. I got to start filming that. I'm editing his moveset. I recorded his moveset. I spent 10 hours just fighting his inner self, and I was just getting all of his moves right. And I'm so upset because in the 10 hours of filming, there's this one move he does. I've only had it filmed. Now, I'm in a podcast right now. I can't join you. I'll eat your food after I'm done with the podcast. Sorry. But there's this one move he only does. He's only done once in the 10 hours of me filming the fight. So I'm just sitting here like, okay, is there more moves that I haven't discovered? Should I go back and spend another 10, 20 hours grinding his inner self to see if he does that move again or more moves? Be
grateful you can actually record him doing those moves a lot easier now. Otherwise, you'd have to keep dying and then fighting and then re-dying over and over again to get.
Oh no! You mistake me. I'm not dying to him. I just kill him. I just sit there, go and kill him. I've killed him over 30 times, man.
I think at this point, thanks to the. So have I noticed. Do you know when I first played him, he kicked my ass? I win. Then again, he kicked all of our asses, didn't he?
Yeah.
When you first started the game.
He's now one of my favourite bosses. Ishin is.
Oh, come on. Remember when the whole game journalist said, oh, Sekiro needs an easy mode because they couldn't fight Ishin.
Wasn't the same guy who hacked the game and made Ishin move like a snail and then killed snail-paced Ishin? I accomplished. I beat Ishin. He was like the pace of a snail because I modded his attack speed. Ishin. You're like...
I'm more skilled than that guy because I actually beat him. It took time, but I actually managed to beat Ishin on my own.
And that's the thing, you can. Ishin's a challenge, don't get me wrong, especially when you're first time playing, but he's beatable. He has openings. He has so many Mikiri counter openings. He's just he's going to stab me?
Mikiri counter.
Afraid of getting stabbed. Just Mikiri counter him till he dies, and lightning reversal him till he dies.
Honestly, it's the third phase that actually just gives you some mercy. That's the thing. The third phase gives you some mercy.
That's the funniest thing. Yeah, even inner Ishin, right? Genichiro, inner Genichiro, he'll lightning reversal you when you reverse his lightning. You're sitting here inner Genichiro.
I think for most people
but
that was sorry.
Inner Ishin.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I was just saying, Ishin doesn't lightning reversal you because it's still a mercy part of the fight.
Thank God, otherwise that would have been hell.
If third phase Ishin lightning reversal me, I would just turn off the PS4 and I would just convince my wife, you can play your God Eater 3 now. I don't want to play on the system anymore.
Play
your Bloodborne. Play your God Eater 3, play your Nier, play all that. I'm not playing my PS4 anymore. It's yours now.
Sin, your thoughts on all the Inshin, the final boss of Sekiro? Sinclair.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, your thoughts
Sorry,
on...
could you repeat that again? You cut out a little.
Sorry, my apologies, my internet. Your thoughts on Inshin, the Sword Saint. What was your impressions when you first faced him?
Was difficult. I think the entirety of Sekiro was pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished it.
I'm sorry, I just had an Among Us meme just flash by. I'm sorry. That's rude.
It's all right. We're all friends here. But yeah, Inshin was definitely a highlight. And if I ever do my top 10 bosses, I'm definitely putting Inshin at number 1.
See.
I remember on my first time dying, I'm like, oh damn, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll beat you.
Right.
He's actually a fun boss. He's one of my favourites. I'll say probably next to Emma as well.
Oh yeah,
Emma.
I've actually, now that I'm actually a lot better at the game, Emma's a lot easier than I remember her. I remember her giving me a hard time, but now I think I could beat her with my eyes closed.
I like the music, I do. The music is really good when it comes to Emma. It's like really soft. I think it goes really.
I shun all the Emma lovers. I'm sorry. Look, the big thing I just like is that her grab attack. It's like when I first played her, I was like, "Oh, I'm doing so well." Grab kills you. I'm like, okay.
There is a trick to that. You just jump. I found a trick to. I
know the trick now. I'm talking about when you first go there, right? And you're like, lol, like how many enemies grab you at this point, realistically, that you would have encountered?
Very few.
Not really. Apart from the tutorial one, where you first fight and you got to learn to dodge and step away.
It wasn't.
The boss name is by the.
Genichiro does grab you, doesn't he?
Temple.
Genichiro also grabs you.
Genichiro can, but he mostly does it in his inner form though. Original one doesn't do the grab that much, so you might not even see the grab. Like I never saw the grab until recently for Genichiro.
That's true. I think he, in the inner Genichiro, he does it a lot more. That does throw me off.
Yeah, he just grabs you and just elbows you. It's just like, okay.
That move actually throws me off a lot because my brain doesn't register he's going to grab. It registers he's either going to do a sweep or a stab.
Or a thrust.
I said thrust. Or stab thrust. It's always a bit tricky to pinpoint that.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing as well, it's really funny, but like I was playing on Sekiro just a few minutes ago, and Owl, the father in the Hirata estate.
Mm-hmm.
Inner Owl or base Owl? Base Owl father.
I think it's the younger version.
No, because there's 3 versions of Owl now. There's Owl on the top of Ashina. There's Owl in Hirata. And now there's Inner Owl, who's like Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct, Mega, Time 4 Kaioken.
I'm gonna die a lot. I haven't even gotten to Inner Inshin or Inner Owl. I'm gonna die a lot, aren't I?
I think Inner Owl.
Because only thing is Inner Owl. He's a little bit more tricky with the Fire Owl throws. He also has the Mist Raven, too. They gave him the Mist Raven, so he'll just randomly teleport, like you would with the Mist Raven. So you just have to watch what he's doing.
He has Mist Raven now. He has the Mist Raven Shinobi technique.
Yeah, the prosthetic. That
God.
Mist Raven too.
I don't. Since playing Sekiro again, I don't use the prosthetic.
I just sword fight. I agree. I just sword fight.
I use mainly the shuriken. I'm just using other prosthetics just for fun at this point.
Lol. The only prosthetic I say I can reliably use is the spear to rip the worm out from the
and that one
guardian ape to get that over with. It's mostly to get it over with faster.
I think everybody does it. Yes.
Just be like, okay, let me take a fourth of your posture bar with this spear rip. Thank you very much, sir.
Before and just quickly on moving on, we've got more news about Elden Ring. Finally, in my opinion, it's been months of radio silence, hasn't it, on that game?
I don't know what to feel anymore. I don't know what to
Excitement, excitement, my friend.
We might see some content coming in the next month or so.
Thank
Hopefully,
goodness.
It seems like From Software have updated the Twitter.
About time. It's been months since it's been a year since the trailer dropped, and it's been months and months after a year since the trailer, and we got any new information. I've been dying for more Sekiro information. Oh, Sekiro. Elden Ring information, because this is going to be an interesting one. An open world Souls game. Not like Skyrim or anything, but more... Actually, this will be the first time I've ever had an open world game that's barren.
To be fair, it is The Witcher, which is close to Dark Souls when you play it like on the highest difficulties.
But
Should
at
I do
least
the movesets for Witcher, or Witcher's too hard to do in real life?
I don't know. I've never played The Witcher.
Oh, I'm asking Trooper that.
I think there's a mod like you can do on with Witcher, but like have like Dark Souls as well.
And of course.
Oh, okay.
Oh, speaking of a mod, there's also a mod for the Elder Scrolls that makes it like Sekiro.
Yeah,
Get out.
I'm not joking. I am not joking. There is a mod on Elder Scrolls that gives it a Sekiro-like combat system. And I think it's as bad as you think it is.
What are you excited about?
Like, seriously, putting Sekiro's combat was built from the down up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Elder Scrolls' combat, I think that the strength of the Elder Scrolls here is okay. The adventuring part, unlike Souls, which is more about the gameplay and mission, I'd say Elder Scrolls is more about the adventure. But putting Sekiro combat, it was a stretch putting Souls combat into Elder Scrolls, but Sekiro's? I don't know what to say.
Sekiro combat. Talk about Sekiro's combat actually. You know Blasphemous. I know I don't should have about this game, but that's got similar combat to Sekiro.
And Sekiro technically has. And Sekiro has combat similar to that of Tenchu, since Tenchu was the original Sekiro.
And Shadow Tower.
True.
And Shadow Tower. Let's also not forget that Sekiro was originally going to be a Tenchu game.
Right. Okay, I'm fine. Did I step on? Oh, I stepped on your chew toy.
Yeah, and like it would have been interesting. Like, imagine if From kept to their thing and just made Tenchu. First time I've ever played a Tenchu game.
A lot of people like that. To be fair, someone said it's a prequel to Tenchu. Tenchu.
But let's forget, Tenchu was the first, and Sekiro, as does Demons and Dark Souls. Demon Souls is the spiritual successor to this Kingsfield series from's early days, as Dark Souls is the spiritual successor to Demon Souls. Sekiro is the spiritual successor to Tenchu. All we need now is a spiritual success. Ever heard of Shadow Tower, one of other From's games?
Yeah, not forget Armored Core as well.
Maybe they'll do a spiritual successor to that to make a first-person horror shooter game or something.
Possibly.
Sinclair, any thoughts on this?
Well, I haven't really played Tenchu or Shadow Tower, and I wasn't aware that they had a mod for Skyrim. So I don't really have any thoughts.
Maybe you should try it out and see how it feels. I would, but I feel like I wouldn't. I don't think it'll work well because, again, Sekiro's combat was built from the down up. Remember, the game's combat was built from the ground up, and honestly, I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to Elden Ring for a second. You were saying about they might release new content, Trooper.
Yeah. On Reddit, it's been speculating as well about they might actually release like a trailer or something.
Can it be a gameplay trailer? Let's just hope it is a gameplay trailer, because I'm dying to know what the combat is like. Is it going to be like Souls? Is it going to be like Sekiro? Or is it going to be a combination of the two?
Another thing as well, they could release an Elden Ring trailer, but make it like with all cooked content. So that's what From Software trailers tend to be now. Is like cooked content put into a trailer and then re-released, and then release the main game without the cooked content.
Let's remember the fact that in the original trailer to when it was called Bloodborne, when it was called Project Beast, there was a character that didn't make it into the final game. He's still
saying that Kirk.
Yes.
So now we was talking about that today, wasn't we? Like about the cooked content.
Coincidence.
Wait,
was it yesterday?
The content about what?
For Bloodborne.
Like something released. Wait, what we were talking about something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just sometimes paranoid that we're not recording, but we are, thankfully. No, we are recording. Don't worry. I'm just a bit paranoid sometimes. A lot of things.
That's all right.
But yeah,
thought it's best to wait and see what From Software release, or if not any of the developers.
Martin has also been very quiet on his end, hasn't he?
Say again.
Martin,
Martin.
George R. Martin.
Game of Thrones writer.
Yeah, Martin is Martin is hang on. Was it Martin is writing the story while Miyazaki's writing the lore, or is it the other way around?
George is writing the lore, but it's going to be even more emphasis on there.
Regardless of what he's writing, he takes forever to write anything. So
that's true.
We can all be honest. Elden Ring may come out when it's ready. Too fair, because I can see From Software going the CD Projekt PR way.
With
the content.
But I feel like at least, how many times has Cyberpunk been delayed at this point? 4 or 5 times now? Again?
Yeah.
This is
I'm actually excited for that game anyway, because I know what the content's going to be like.
I hope you enjoy.
Delayed.
I know.
There is a debate about it. It may be delayed again as well.
This is the problem when I find that if it's going to be delayed, maybe this is the thing. This could severely hurt the game, because yes, it's building excitement for the game and for everything about it, but just like a child peeking at his presents before Christmas, it could be anticlimactic. It could fail in disappointment. Now, I understand that CG Projekt Red has had somewhat of a good track record with the Witcher 3 series. Let's face it, the first 2 were not good from what I hear. I'm sure Witcher 3 was an excellent game. One game of the year, after all. But Cyberpunk, this could be... How do I put it? This could be like a balloon being popped. It spins around the room and then just pitters out unimpressively on the floor. Or on the table. Or anywhere you want to imagine. This could just be a bad thing.
That's true. It's like, on Bandai Namco's website, they haven't released a date for Elden Ring at all. There's like nothing there. Apart from when it was known as not applicable, has been changed on there.
Maybe.
I think they're going to release it when it's ready.
Yes, at least they're not saying, "Oh, sorry, the game's delayed again." So I think what From is doing, and I think what they're doing better than CD Projekt Red is saying, we're not going to give a definitive date of when this game is released until we are absolutely 100% sure this game will be released on said date, instead of saying, sorry, the game will be delayed for X amount of reasons. And I think CD Projekt Red should just say, look, that we will just basically say, stop. We will not basically tell you when the game is released. We will give you further information when the game is released. Proper. Not just saying, oh, the game will be released this month. Sorry, delayed again. The game will be released again. Sorry, delayed. It's getting a little old at this point, and you can only delay a game so much before you anger your fans. And actually, if you heard about that, they were getting death threats again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but apparently it was doing really bad in the stocks as well. I was seeing some people cancelled the pre-orders.
Obviously, because this is Elden Ring. What has pre-orders been announced yet for Elden Ring?
Nothing's been announced at all. It's
And-
just fair silent.
I feel like that was the better option than what CD Projekt Red is doing. My personal opinion. That
Yeah, I think they've done more in PR than what they've done into like delaying the game and stuff, haven't they?
it's hurting their reputation, because I think I'm going to call it right now that if they announced a new game after Cyberpunk 2077, we're saying fans are going to say, I wonder how long this game's going to be delayed again and again.
Right.
Reputations like that can happen very quickly. So it's a dangerous gamble what CD Projekt Red was doing, just keeping delaying the game after again and again and again.
Exactly.
Sin, your opinion, your thoughts?
Well, I don't know, I don't know much about CD Projekt or whatever. So I don't know the reasons as to why they're delaying the games, but we are in the middle of a global pandemic.
That's true.
So I'm not really surprised that certain games might get delayed.
Understandable. And go on.
But I'm trying to figure out something. Okay. Yes, I do work at home because I do teach middle school online. So I do understand if there's things like children or spouses or any other like family members in the house that can take away from productivity on work. I understand that. But with something like a game, I guess you can say the things that I'm thinking of is maybe at your home you don't have the same office equipment you have for designing a game. So people might have to use less tech or less capable. But I'm surprised that I guess game companies don't essentially mail their employees their setups so they can work on designing their games at home. I don't know the logistics of it, but I feel like that if that's not a possibility or that's not something, because like for example, look at the Sekiro update. I mean, they went through the pandemic and they chugged out that. So
well, then we also.
I'm not saying I don't know the logistics of every single individual company or person, but I'm just thinking that possibly that's something that game companies can look at. I don't know.
Kirk's talking about that actually. About the pandemic, From Software tweeted, I think a few months ago, about saying what they're working from home as well.
And they managed to.
Elden Ring.
And they managed to.
Yeah.
So,
True.
And I'm doing all right with it. To be fair, just had positive stuff from Software. Apart from that, and was it yesterday or was it this morning? Like, just sent out another tweet saying, but they're doing well on Elden Ring.
Yeah, that brings joy to my heart that they're saying things like that.
Again, we have to take a parallel between From and CD. From seems to be doing a better job by keeping their fans. Well, I'm sure there are a few fans out there that are kind of angry about the lack of news from Elden Ring. But you could also say it keeps the mystery up and keeps fans guessing. I could argue that, compared to projects just continuously saying yes, the game is going to have this and this and this and blah blah blah, and then say the game is going to be released the XX month, and then fans are disappointed again when it just says we're delayed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me seeing things that maybe From's doing a better job in keeping things wrapped up than CD Projekt Red's.
Maybe.
I know, but, say again, Kirk. I'll let you talk.
Oh, you Sin?
What? Yeah. What's that?
I was just checking if you have anything to add to what I just said about how again what I said about From and CD. Despite the two biggest games, in my opinion, that will be out, and how they've been dealing with how they've been keeping their respective fans happy or unhappy.
Well, I never worked in the gaming industry, so I honestly have no idea how these things work.
Fair enough.
So I don't really have an informed opinion on any of it.
and we're just people on a computer discussing this, but it's still good to have our opinions out there, so people can at least listen. But that's just me.
Fun fact I forgot to tell you as well is I used to be an apprentice at a place where I used to do game design a few years ago, and I've done coding, and I've also done the game design for designing levels.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done that, and also I've used Unity as well.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I know pretty much how it goes, to be fair.
I actually, a while back ago, me and a friend were actually working on a game together.
Ooh, what was it?
It was going to be... I was actually quite inspired by Metal Gear Rising Revengeance for the time. So it was like a...
Play that.
I do. So it was basically... but instead of being a platform, it would have been more, hack and slash. It would have been more like a 2D platformer. So hack and slash platformer, you might say.
Right.
I still have the files safely on my hard drive, and I have still the 2D schematic, the 2D, the 2D things safely on my file in paper form. So, yeah, it was just basically,
right.
It's just sitting there collecting dust at this point.
Oof.
Oh, that sounds amazing, that is.
I thank you. It was a project I was quite gleefully wanting to do. I like video games.
Well,
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, if you need martial arts stuff or me to break down, because the thing is that I was working on a project with someone else that they were trying to revamp For Honor combat for certain heroes, and I was like, hey, this is how you historically use these weapons from this manual and this manual, and these are techniques that they look cool, but they're also historically accurate. So if you need anything like that, I can pull up some of my manuals and go, oh, for example, someone was asking me, oh, I want to be like how would like a Renaissance Batman look? Well, there are such things, the quote-unquote term cloak and dagger.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a paired weapon set with either a rapier or a dagger, where someone would use their cloak to blind you or have stuff on it. So, say they would have a pouch that has sand on it, that when they flick it out, it actually opens that pouch up and throws it at people. So I'm just sitting here yeah, if you really wanted to do like a Renaissance or medieval Batman, there's source material that can tell you how you can do that.
I actually had 4 bosses planned for, I know small, but there was, I got only so limited time, and I'm only one guy. And one of and they were all based on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And they were...
Ooh.
Actually, I can still remember 2 of them. It was been a while since I remember the other 2. There was Pestilence. I had the idea that he used a bow, like a staff that has 2 blades on the end, and that can transform to a bow if he needs to long range. So I know it's silly, but I like the idea. It sounded really cool in concept, and
it's never silly. It's never silly until you release it. People say so.
I know. And then the other person was her name. I actually based her off of Ursa. Ursa from Fairy Tail, right? I actually based her design off Ursa a lot. So basically, she wore like a medieval suit of armor, and it was actually a suit of armor that was actually like an exoskeleton sort of thing, if you know what I mean. And she wielded a sword that I wanted in a very powerful. It was basically a those high frequency blades from Metal Gear Rising. Same concept. It was basically a broadsword. It looked like a traditional broadsword. And I actually thought of some backstories for some of the characters, and their backgrounds were the inspiration for their horsemen. So pestilence. If I remember correctly, he was supposed to be basically a survivor of a pandemic that his village, what was the word I'm looking for? His village, that affected his village. Basically, he somehow had the immunity. He was somehow immune to it, but he, instead of it killing him, it became a host to him. So it was. So for as long as he lived, the virus still lived. For war, the Ursa one was actually war. I actually put on a bit of a backstory where she was actually she was in a small village that was raided by soldiers. They were attacked by soldiers. I didn't know if it was soldiers. Yeah, soldiers, and basically they kidnapped her and did a few unspeakable things to her. So she had a bit of an outlook of the strongest and the strong die, the strong live, the weak die, that sort of thing mentality. She survived and
Berserk?
Hello?
Oh, I said Berserk. Is that you?
At the time, I didn't think. Now that you said it, it actually Jesus. But yeah, one thing I did want to say was that her hair was originally like my dark hair color, like black. But one night when her captors were sleeping, she you know what I mean, and basically her hair was permanently dyed red.
Oh, cool.
I know it's a little silly, but I thought it was cool symbolism. Like she was a pure girl, but then her hair showed that of the stained with the blood of her enemies. That sort of thing. It was a concept idea I had with a friend years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my main character was And my main character was a cyborg.
It's only silly if other people say it.
And my main character was a cyborg samurai instead of a ninja.
That's not too bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was I still look back at it and I still wonder, was I just being having an overactive imagination, or was it just me being that I generally wanted to do something like that? It's just, sometimes whenever I bring it up, I do think that.
It's only silly if other people says it's silly.
That's true.
Thank
you. Sorry if I was hogging the conversation for a little bit. I've never talked about this to anyone outside my friends, so I think it was nice to get it off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's all right. Any idea is a good idea, and I think.
Yes.
Sorry, Trooper.
Which one's climbing something?
Trooper, you cut out for a second. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, any idea is a good idea.
That's true.
What?
Well.
Yes.
Oh, so Trooper, so Xin, what is you've got any video plans for the future? I'm curious.
To be fair, I want to do law.
Hello?
I want to try law, to be fair. Just making content.
That's fair.
A mixture of PvP and one-on-one characters. There's loads.
True. And I still gotta focus. And I've got and I'm finishing off my Card Captor Sakura video. That'll be my new video for the month. And then after that, I've got to finish off my Reddit readings. Then
Reddit reading?
A friend suggested that I just to spice up my content, I do like look over some things on Reddit and just read them out and give my opinion. Pretend like if it's got scripts, I just say just voice act for a little bit.
Eisen, you know you're not supposed to be up there. What type of example are you setting for your brother?
It's a sort of idea that I thought would be fun. Just spice up my channel a little bit. I do reviews and maybe the occasional top 10. if I want to. But I thought a Reddit reading would be fantastic. Well, my friend also thought that. Then, after that, I've got another project, as you already guys know, but just to clarify for Sin, because she wasn't here, I'm doing a project where I'm comparing Sekiro to Nier Automata. An idea that I've been thinking of doing ever since I first played Nier Automata. Like, and I think I've already repeated myself a few times to you guys, but just in case, I wanted to compare Dark Souls 1 to Drakengard 1, Dark Souls 2 to Drakengard 2, Drakengard 3 to Dark Souls 3, Nier to Bloodborne, Nier Automata to Sekiro, and for the hell of it, the Nier remake to the Demon Souls remake. So, first of all, I need to figure...
That's pretty good.
Cool.
Thank you. I've actually had some people... I've just... A lot of people actually have been encouraging me to do this, and but something in the niggling in the back of my head just tells me that this is a silly idea. But I really want to do it. So whatever that little voice in my head says, flick it away and ignore it.
It's only silly for other
You
people.
will say it's silly. I know, Green, I know.
I'm the dude who swings around swords in a woods, pretend to be Artorias. I mean, even if you call me silly, I'd be like, "And do it yourself."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, did you ever see that Man-at-Arms video of making Artorias' sword?
I would absolutely, if I could, I would refill my Artorias film with that sword.
I think it's
They're
a
like,
bit...
"Oh, look how heavy and hard it is to wield." I'm like, "You don't know."
Sorry, go on.
I could wield that. Guarantee you.
Hmm?
Wield that.
Really?
I'm not even exaggerating. Granted, the way it's constructed, this is the sad part about it. I could wield it, but the way Artorias' sword is constructed, it's constructed for someone bigger than us.
That's
So
true.
it's a hand-and-a-half sword in relative to Artorias' side. So the way it's balanced, it's not balanced correctly for like our ultra great sword uses.
So if it was
You can
about...
still use it.
But if they managed to scale it down to say human usage, you could be able to somewhat mimic some of Artorias' movements. Which, by the way, I loved that video.
Thank you. But yeah, doing the full scale size that they did is I can use it, but I won't be able to do the same movements.
You'll need to adapt, obviously.
You'd have to adapt it, yeah. But that's what it is.
That's true. That's true. Heck, I did enjoy their Saw Cleaver one too. I would love to have that.
Okay. Do you know why I don't do? Okay, I only need a handful of Bloodborne weapons, but do you know what the biggest problem with Bloodborne weapons are?
They're too fantasy based.
But like, the thing is, it's like, why? Like, okay, like take something like the Saw Cleaver or Saw Spear. Why do you think it won't? Why do you think it wouldn't work in battle?
Because of the spines, they'll get caught. They will get caught in bone or cloth. They're not just.
Yeah, that's one aspect. Yeah, the spines on it. Yeah, if you were to hit someone that gets caught, lol, you're gonna get counter hit. You're dead. Another thing is the lever mechanism where it snaps up. Yeah, no matter how strong you make a lever in real life, if you're gonna try to battle test that, you're going to damage the hinge, and then you're just going to have a blade that doesn't stay folded or stays unfolded. It's going to be a mess to try to bring a hinged weapon into battle. Why do you think nobody made a hinged weapon?
It doesn't work.
It didn't work.
Hey, but good question. Is it possible to you make something like not the Holy Moon, the one where you put it in the big sheath?
So, now I'll actually refer to both of them. So the one where you can use the sheath. So there are techniques where you do sheath your weapon and then you use the sheath as a projectile, not as a physical weapon. So if you're like, say you use that sheath and you throw it at someone's face with the power of your sword arm, sure, that's a thing. Or with the Holy Moonlight Sword, believe it or not, the Holy Moonlight Sword's pretty legit. The untransformed version where it's just like a great sword. Outside of like the cloth that's wrapped around it, it's actually pretty solid overall as a great sword.
I'm trying to make one from using 3D printer, but I'm trying to make one for my cosplay.
Ooh, I want to see that.
as soon as I can buy the 3D modeling and then I can actually get printed, I'll make sure to post it on my Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that
Nice. I'll
sounds
definitely see that.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the guy also has a replica Chikage. Might try that one next. Oh, by the way...
Okay, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say the Shikaji is? What type of weapon would you say it is?
It's a mix between It's a mix between a katana and it's like a mix between a katana and a broadsword. It has two. It has the guard and a katana blade.
Ooh, your perspective, yeah. No, most people say it's just a katana. I'm like, no, it's not just a katana. Mostly it's the blade, and it has some like above the handle. It's some like the way it's shaped. It's a similar somewhat to a Suba, but it mostly has a crossguard bearing. The same with the Rakuyo. The Rakuyo is actually a type of
Rapier.
basket-hilted saber that has a katana-like blade.
I always thought it was like a mix between a katana and a rapier, by the looks of it. Sometimes.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you look up basket-hilted sabers, it looks more like how. So, can I send a picture of this in chat?
Sure.
So yeah, it is similar to a rapier. Trust me. So it's like if you were to go to that period, rapiers and sabers, they are sort of intertwined in the fact that they had very similar design handles during the Renaissance period where they were used.
Mm-hmm.
Rapiers are just more pokey. Sabers are more I cut you. Though there's some things like S-stocks that were a blend of, oh, I have a sharp blade too, so I can cut with that as well.
Yeah.
But the Raido Palash is the rapier. More like a rapier
actually,
gun.
I actually looked a little bit into it, and there's actually weapons in real life that are like the Raido Palash.
Yeah, there are.
But they weren't used necessarily for warfare. They were just more used for hunting than I'd imagine. You know, I remember one time that the Raido Palash was supposed to be put into the head of into a wild boar. You pull the trigger to kill it.
Mm-hmm. It's more like a bayonet type of implement where you stab something and shoot it.
You don't swing the damn thing, you'll destroy the mechanism.
Exactly.
Let's see. The scythe, that was a cool weapon. And I know that in historical times there were war scythes, but they weren't like... They actually took the blade, twisted over, and made sure it was a curved, it was more like a spear or something.
There's several different types of war scythes. Some of them, they had like a hook. So like they would have an end where it would be a spear and it would hook over so you can like hook people off of horseback. Like bill hooks. There was things like that. Like the scythe that Gurman uses, lol, no. I love him to death, but no.
Okay, out of question. For every Souls game, like from Demon Souls to... I'm not going to put Sekiro because he only uses one blade, to Bloodborne, to Dark Souls 3, which would you say would be your favorite weapon from one of each? I'm curious.
I would say... I'm sorry, it's probably going to be like Ultra Great Swords. My favorite weapon, I would say, in Demon Souls... okay, even though the game calls it Flamberge, the proper term is Flammensweats, which is the German term for it. The great sword with a flaming blade. I would choose that from Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls 1, I would say, probably the Zweihander, just because, even though funny enough, it's more designed like the Portuguese Spanish Montante than an actual Zweihander. But
that's cool.
Dark Souls 2. I really thought about what weapon I would take from Dark Souls 2. Honestly, I would probably say, what's that called? The Mira Greatsword. Lucatiel's Greatsword. Mira Greatsword.
The Hollow Slayer.
Dark Souls 3. I would actually take the Hollow, and a Hollow Slayer in Dark Souls 3. I would probably take the Pontiff, the purple sword that he has. What's that called?
The Moonlight. He
has.
I know the blade you're talking about, but I cannot remember the name.
He has a purple sword and he has the orange. Or
the profane.
Sword.
He has the profane sword. That's the one with the fire. I cannot remember the other sword. Damn it.
I'll take his purple sword. Bloodborne. Moonlight Greatsword, or Holy Moonlight Greatsword, whatever you want to call it in this game.
Ludwig's Holy Moonlight Sword.
Sekiro, can we take Kenichiro's bow?
Take the bow. Take the bow if you want to. I said any weapon.
I'll take Kenichiro's bow just by virtue of, like, imagine the stopping power that thing would have. Like, I know Sekiro can just get up, but just imagine, like, getting shot by that thing.
I managed to deflect the shots a few times.
Look, this man is still this guy brought a great bow, right, to a fight where everyone's having like muskets and firearms. And his granddad has a Glock on him. So I mean, that bow must be worth something.
I always wonder when Genshin uses that gun, did they have Glocks back then or something?
No.
Then how was he firing, what, 6 shots?
Look, let me tell you something that makes no sense about Ishin's Glock over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else. So we're using those old-fashioned rifles where, you know, you'd have to put the powder in, take the thing to stuff it in, reload, aim, and shoot. Like, we're still in this age, right? Where we're still, like, only have one shot, then we got to reload with this
muskets.
Extraordinarily long process. Ishin, Glock. Ishin, why don't you give your whole army that? Imagine the interior ministry walking up and everybody is like, I got a Glock in my Glock in my block. Like, you looking like a rap video out here, Ishi. That's just you know. Let me take out my martial art hat off and just say Ishin a straight thug, okay? Ishin straight thug. Like he'd be blasted, like he'd be in the car right with all his homies, and they'd be blasting all sorts of like you just see him with the shade, Grand Theft Auto 5 style. He'd be like. It makes no sense why he has that weapon in his time period at all.
The only thing I can imagine... No, it's all right. The only thing I can imagine is with style points.
Wait, what'd you say?
Style points. You know, they gave him that sort of weapon for style points.
You know, imagine Ishin having to reload that in the battlefield, right? Like, he had a flintlock pistol and be like, oh, I ran out of bullets. Let me, like, find another one.
That would be pretty cool.
I'm so tempted in my Ishin video, right? Just like get like non-copyright like rap beats or something and just play it while I'm doing the Ishin Glock moveset. Doesn't make any sense why that happened.
True, but regarding on that note, I think we've had a nice long chat today, ladies and gentlemen. I think.
Yep.
I think we can actually call it here. But before I do that, I will always set up myself. So anyway, if you're at the end of this video, thank you very much for staying and watching us chat for a little bit. Thank you very much, Sinclair, for joining us. It was an honor for you to join us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You're such.
Thanks, Sinclair.
Mm-hmm. Before I go, also please, if you, I will link to their YouTube channel, so please follow them and subscribe to them. I'll also leave a link to my Discord and my Twitter and my Twitch, which I'll be promoting from now on, down below as usual. So thank you, my hunters, and thank you, the Knight of Green. Thank you, Trooper. Thank you very much for joining me in this wonderful podcast as usual. It was always entertaining to talk with you guys and gals.
No, thank you.
Always welcome.
See ya.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone. May the good blood guide your way, as I always say in my end of my videos.
Umbasa.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.